Had a really good practice today. We got good, like I've said 100 times, we got good character on this team, and these guys are going to keep fighting.
When you look at the receivers, do you need to try to stretch the field, get it more, throw more long to them? It seems like it hasn't been as much of a deep pass game with these.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been heavily dependent on the run the last 2 weeks, and that gets people tight to the box unless you're stretching vertically. And we just haven't been able to make any of those throws for 2 weeks. So that's definitely a part of our offensive game that needs to improve, and that will help us move the ball even better.
Or even just find the receivers anywhere too. I mean, other than Braylon, it's just kind of been. Stanford hasn't a lot of catches. Devin hasn't had a whole lot. Do you feel like you just need to kind of find ways to get those guys the ball?
Yeah, well, we're calling the things to get on the ball. I think we had some guys open on some, and we didn't find them. We lost protection a couple times when we had guys, and I think there's been a couple routes that could have been a little better. There's been 100 little things where one guy does something a little different and makes a difference in a couple games. Then we have a whole different feeling right now. We just need to clean up those little things and make sure we're executing.
You say you have a whole different feeling right now after your previous 2 losses. You guys come out and you say that you practice well, as a result, say you're hungry, but what's different about this loss?
I don't think there's anything different about this loss. Losses hurt. We're not used to those around here, and usually in games like that, we found ways to win them. We kind of found ways to lose that one Saturday. That's on everybody, starting with the coaching staff, and we got to do the little things better to make sure that we don't have games like that.
I guess I should rephrase that. How's the reaction?
I know it's coach speak, but we want our kids to come ready to get better and improve every single game, whether we win or lose. Practice was good today, really lively, spirited. Everybody had a good frame of mind, so that's what we need to have. We can't have anybody holding their head down, getting upset, or we're not going to be able to climb and ascend from where we are.
I know losses are probably not acceptable at all to you guys, but Utah and Michigan State, 2 very good teams. Washington State not kind of in that caliber. So is the Washington State loss a little bit more disheartening or a little less acceptable to a coaching staff?
Any loss isn't acceptable. And we were an eyelash away from getting it done Saturday. Like I said, after the game, 1 first down on either one of our last 2 drives, and the clock runs out before they can score the last one. Defense had plenty of chances. There's 20 plays you can pick out that would have changed that game. There's 20 plays you can pick out that would have changed the Michigan State game. So we've been close, but close isn't good enough. And we're keep battling to do the things that we need to do to make sure that we make those plays.
Does staying close like that help at all? I mean, obviously you guys want to make those plays, but you guys are 1 or 2 plays away from being 5-1. Does that help kind of keep guys at a certain level in practice of, hey, you guys are this close to it?
I don't think there's any way to make a loss feel better. It doesn't matter if you lose by 100 or if you're 1 play away. It hurts. Obviously there was a lot of plays that would have changed that last game, but we need to take care of our business and keep working and getting better, and then hopefully we won't be in those situations.
From an offensive coordinator's perspective, how do you guys improve the passing game?
Well, it starts with me. We got to have a little more consistent play at quarterback. I think both Jeff and Taylor have done some really good things in the last 2 weeks, and I have a real positive feeling about both of them continuing to improve and going forward. But we need consistency at that position. We've played 3 people over the course of the year, and I don't care if you have exceptional players. It's hard to have people in and out of the games like that. But unfortunately, we've had an injury there, and it's been a rotation there since the beginning of the year. And if we can get a little more standard at that position, a little more consistent at that position, I think that's going to help us a lot.
By being a little bit more standard consistent, do you mean that you think you're going to go with 1 guy against Washington?
We'll see. Like I said, that's been moving every week, and we haven't known going into weeks, which has hurt us from a rep standpoint, getting ready for the game. It's hurt us from a consistency standpoint on the field. Sooner or later, I think that'll decide itself, and we'll be able to get back to doing things a little closer to how we usually do.
Scott, the Washington defense lost 4 guys, I think, to the first round of the NFL, and yet statistically they've gotten better on the defensive side of the ball. What have you seen out of this group so they've improved?
I think they're exceptionally well coached on defense. They're sound. You can tell on field they really know what they're doing. They play with great technique. Jimmy Lake, their defensive backs coach, is a good friend of mine going back to Tampa days with Raheem Morris. Mike Tomlin, he knows what he's doing. He gets those guys playing well. They're never out of position and they play hard, and that's really a lot of defense.
You see from a guy like Buda Baker especially. Obviously the ankle was limited in this year, but he's kind of held that secondary together in many ways. What do you like about or don't like seeing from him on film?
Well, Buda's a good player, but he's not the only one back there. I think the other safety, 35, is active and a good player. I'm really impressed with the way their corners have played. So, like I said, I think they're getting coached really well, and they play the ball. They know where the ball is all the time. They're very ball aware, and consequently they're ball disruptive. They attack pass routes, and they made a lot of plays.
What side of the ball was Charles practicing on today?
Charles will keep practicing on both.
Is there an update at all for Carrington's availability this week?
I don't know anything yet about who we're going to have and who we're not going to have. Just the sooner we can get back to full strength at some key spots, I think it's going to help our team just enough to help us get over the hump.
Already 6 games in, would you guys maybe try playing Vernon even if he's not 100%? Because that could potentially be a better option for you.
Well, we've been down that road. Utah game in particular, Vernon just couldn't throw it downfield, and we tried to go with him and have him gut it out like he did in the Michigan State game, and we were doing a disservice to the team and to Vernon at that point to have him out there in that condition. So the minute he's up and ready to go, we'll have him back out there.
Ross, Jimmy said that you guys talk pretty often throughout the season, weekly in some ways.
Radcliffe?
Jimmy Lake.
Oh, Jimmy Lake.
Do those conversations stop this week? Or is the tenor change?
I actually, no, it hasn't stopped. It wouldn't stop just because of this game. When you have friends in the coaching business, they're friends no matter whether you're playing them or not. And wins come and losses happen, and friendships and things that are more important remain. So Jimmy will always be a friend of mine, but I haven't talked to him in a little bit. That's just a coincidence.
Coached last 2 games, tight ends, Wayne Stanford, Devin Allen, total 3 catches. What's going to be the key to get those guys more involved? To pass protection, or what is it?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it starts with some things at the quarterback position that we can clean up, and having some consistency at that position. Like I said, we've played 3 guys, and those guys are splitting reps, and we haven't had one guy that can take all the reps in practice and be healthy and go out there and take charge of it. We've had some guys open and haven't found them, whether that's not seeing them or some breakdowns in protection. But I think that'll continue to get better, especially as we get a little more consistency at the quarterback spot.